Yeah, I don't know if it's the GoPro, the media mod, the cable, or the cam link that is messing up. All I know is one of those four things is not working, which means my entire thing relies on being able to make sure my phone is charged after work. So it's at 22% and it's on the charger, and I hope it lasts through our video. I just closed it out. That was my bad. This is fine.
I was just gonna say,
roll intro.
I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Deanna. And we're
the Halfwit Sisters.
I'm so done. Oh my god.
welcome home.
Hi. How are you?
I am trying. So, okay, look. I mentioned this before. I'm trying to do this thing on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the episode The Box.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to break down this episode because I really like it. They do some really, really, really interesting things with it.
Yeah, I've seen a few of them.
That particular episode's really good because they mix up like really good dramatic cop drama beats with some really good comedic beats. And so I want to talk on it. But like as I'm sitting down, I'm going through, I'm like, oh, there's this thing and this thing and this thing. And I'm like, it's like they're like fever dreams. My TikToks are like fever dreams when I'm trying to right. And I'm just like, you know what? It's just gonna be a spew of just bullshit at this point, of just like whatever comes to my head now. Because it's honestly, I don't know. So I was a little frustrated earlier because I realized one of the things that I wanted to talk on is that particular episode doesn't open up with an inciting incident, which is like classic for any kind of storytelling thing. It opens straight up into risk and stakes. And I was like, that's really interesting, but how would you mention that as a thing for on a TikTok? And I was like, what is like a really known inciting incident? And I thought back to Star Wars.
I'm just like adjusting. I am listening. You thought back to Star Wars, your fever dream. I'm just like trying to get myself centered into my camera.
You're fine. So I thought back to like the inciting incident of
Star Wars,
the first episode, or at this point the fourth episode now because of reasons. But A New Hope, right? Mm-hmm. When Luke Skywalker's parents die, spoiler alert, whatever. When Luke's parents die, that's his inciting incident to go out there and start learning how to be a Jedi. Anyways, that's the inciting incident. And so I was like, should I do it that way? Or should I do Wreck-It Ralph's inciting incident where he wants to be on top of the cake and have the gold medal, and everybody's like, you can't be on top of the cake and have the gold medal because you're a bad guy. And he's like, well, I can be a good guy. And they're like, no, you can't. And that's the cake, him wanting to be on top of the cake, his exciting incident. And I was like, which one do I use? Do I even do that? Or do I just go straight into the risks? And I did 2 TikToks that I drafted. I drafted 2 TikToks, okay? And now I just have them sitting in my draft, and I keep watching them over and over again, going, which one sounds good? Which one's good? Do I do that at all? Do I not? No, it's just...
In Story 101, we're taught about inciting incidences. This is something that moves our character forward. Here's a well-known inciting incident.
But why would Imperial troops want to slaughter Jawas? If they traced the robots here, they may have learned who they sold them to, and that would lead them back home. Going! Get through! Going!
However, our episode, The Box, has no inciting incident. Instead, it moves directly into setting up the risk and the stakes.
This is Philip Davidson.
What do we have on him?
Clear motive, clear means, and a non-existent alibi, but the DA won't bring a charge because he says it's all circumstantial. If we want to bring this guy down, we have to get him to confess right here, right now.
An interrogation with a ticking clock and everything.
Anyways, one of my TikToks exploded, and it's the one. There's a trend going around right now, which is post a video of a song from a child TV show or movie, an animated TV show or movie.
Yes, I saw your TikTok.
Yeah, that had no right being as good as it did. And like people are doing all this weird ones. So I picked from Cats Don't Dance, which we grew up when we lived on Guam when it came out. And my favorite was like Tell Me Lies. Yeah, my favorite is Tell Me Lies. But the one that exploded is Big and Loud. The reprise, like the villain song, Big and Loud. I'm like, why is that the one that exploded? So I've got like 2,000 views on that. And I'm just like, out of all of them, that's the one?
Look, those were bops, and that one... Big and loud.
Yeah. So that's that one, but it's there's like two versions of it, the one where she's singing to the cat and then the one where she's planning the cat's demise. So
yeah,
it's the one where she's planning the cat's demise that got the blow up. I was like, oh, of course the villain song would. All right, whatever.
Everyone loves a good villain.
Yeah. So it's my most commented on video and my most liked one.
So I saw that one. I saw the Big and Loud one first, but then I was like, what is this replying to? Because I know this is not like the song she thinks of when she thinks of this movie. And I went back, and one of my favorite comments on the first one was, I thought this was a fever dream. I'm so glad this was real.
Yeah, well, because that was back. I think we talked on it once before, but it was back when Disney really had like a hold on the market.
Yeah.
And was not letting people like have an edge.
Yeah. Disney did some pretty underhanded things to undercut the other studios.
Yeah.
Which is a whole story.
And now they own like half the studios, so what the hell does
So it's like, I'm not surprised not a lot of people know about it, but being able to introduce it to people is just kind of a privilege that I'm happy about.
I did it. At least like 3,000 people have seen it by now.
It is such a good movie.
Yeah, it was funny because this isn't the first time I've posted about Cats Don't Dance either, and like I got a video response from like another lady way long time ago who was like, everybody has seen Cats Don't Dance, and I was like, well, evidently not.
Yeah, no, a lot of people haven't. A lot of people don't know what it is. Like I'll start going, nothing's gonna stop us. People are like, what the fuck is that from?
Keep going.
So it's one of those movies that if you have not seen, you really should go see it. It is so good. Because you just, the dancing, the singing, The fact that it's an animated film.
Yeah, unfortunately though, you can't really find it right now. I think maybe YouTube you can. You can find like the songs, but you can't find like where to full watch it. Anyways, that's not what this episode is about.
Should have an episode where we like scrub through and just like show our favorite parts. You can rent it on Amazon Prime.
Okay. Rent it.
Or buy it.
Okay. What is today's episode about? Oh, first off, we have an announcement. That's what we have. First off, we have an announcement.
Yes. So we are officially submitted into the Moment Invitational Film Festival. And that film, it's like a 2-minute film for us, will go live at 5 o'clock. I'm realizing I put it at AM. So we should probably change that. But it's supposed to be at 5 o'clock p.m. But it's today when this video airs, which is a few days for us. But it's premiered, and it's submitted, and I'm really happy and proud of where it is. And I hope you guys really enjoy it.
For sure. Hope you enjoy it. We worked really hard on that.
Yeah. It was, with everything that happened in the week leading up to when we were originally supposed to shoot, and then not knowing what we were going to do, and then writing, directing, filming, acting, editing.
1 second.
All the things we did.
Hi, Mom. I'm filming an episode with DJ right now. What can I do for you?
Nothing. I was just checking how things came out with the light.
No, I'm gonna have to figure out how to get a hold of one. Yeah, it's like I couldn't even get one at O'Reilly's, so you don't have a part at all.
Oh, O'Reilly's Auto Parts.
Yeah. I'll call you tomorrow and let you know whether I was able to get it or not. Okay. Love you too. Bye. Bye. So yes.
Yeah.
Car
It's
things.
just like everything that had gone into it. Then as we were editing, the last minute, like, hey, let's think about doing this, and in the stop motions, and it came a very long way in a very short amount of time.
Yes, it did. So that's out. Let us know how you like it. Give us a thumbs up. Please give us a thumbs up. That would be actually really awesome. Just a thumbs up on that video. We don't ask. We normally, like, I know we put at the end of our videos like subscribe, whatever.
Share. Yeah.
Right. And normally we really are like whatever. But this is like this is one where we're like, please. Please
watch it and give us that like on that one. We'll be doing a lot of promotion on it once the voting opens for the People's Choice of the film festival. So we'll be doing some more promotions on it on both our Instagram and TikTok. Surprise, Becca.
I know. She didn't tell me until now. You guys, I just heard about this. We're filming this episode on June 1st. And she just now told me this. And now I have to come up with a whole fucking marketing plan on my end about this. And I'm just I told you I was panicking over a fucking over doing this.
In my defense, I was reading through the rules and submissions today, and I saw that there was the People Choice voting, and I was like, crap. I need a. At least we have the movie poster.
Oh my god. Yes, here it is again.
Did we show it last time, or is that the episode we scratched?
No, we showed it last time. I don't even know. We have so many things. Anyways, we have it's up. Come like it and look at all our channels for promotion.
Yeah. So really please watch, when that voting comes up, we'll put a iCard for it. Please vote for us, and all that fun.
Well, I won't be able to because the rules for iCards are weird, but you'll know. It'll be down in our.
It'll be in the description then.
It'll be in the downy thingy.
So, yeah,
the down thingy words. Okay. All right. So that's the thing. What's next?
So the next thing I actually emailed Becca a little plan of some of the things we wanted to talk about.
Yeah,
do you want to talk about the shift of Belladonna or the BTS, the brief discussion of BTS?
If it'll be anything but brief. I'm ready to nerd out on some BTS. Did you? We'll get to that next. But yeah, let's talk about
shift of the idea for Belladonna.
Yeah, let's talk about that since we're talking about our projects. Let's talk about Belladonna.
Okay. So we have a slight shift in how we're going to do Belladonna. We're still doing the whole 20 1-minute videos that we had leading up, and we still want to do the game and all of that. But we're going to switch, instead of doing it live acting and filming and doing that whole thing, we're going to do a photo shoot in a few months. And then also we're going to do it more like an audio play voiceover thing rather than live acting.
Yeah.
And this will it'll be easier for us in this that we're not worried about camera angles and lighting and all of that. It'll just be still photos. And maybe we'll do the audio wave over the photo so that you can tell that it is supposed to be a photo. For the people who are on TikTok who haven't seen this video, aren't sitting there going, the video froze, because there's not a video.
We just make the announcement on TikTok. That's easy. Easy fix.
But I don't want to have to do that for every single one, because someone comes in the middle of the video. No, you can. So.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So just have that wave go on.
Mm-hmm.
Top. And I sent you a couple ideas. I don't know if you looked over them.
I don't know where you sent them to me at.
In that thing.
Oh.
In that email.
I might not have seen that.
I sent you an email.
I read the email, but I did not see attachments.
No, there weren't attachments. There's just a couple ideas. Do we want to cast everyone and just do it like an audio play where we talk and have each character have the voice instead of the duets?
Oh, okay. I took that as you saying I'm going to cast everybody. I didn't take that as ideas. I took that as missed the shift ideas. I took that as I'm casting everybody and I'm doing it like this.
No, that was very much sorry, I forgot to put the question mark on the end of that sentence too.
It was. She's just Belladonna shift of ideas, and then it goes video, audio, comic book And the only question mark goes, rewrites required? That's the only question mark in the whole thing. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so that's actually a question for you. Do you want to do that? Because then we can have that and make the game more of not so much the YN self-insert type game, but more of a third-party advisor perspective making the decisions. And I don't know if you've seen it, but some of our viewers might have. Black Mirror Bandersnatch on Netflix.
Yeah, I know of it.
It's a show that you're watching, and then you get to choose whether they have the corn wheats or whatever, and your decisions go down and affect the movie as a whole. So we can do something like that more than being Skylar.
Yeah, I'll think. I mean, it comes down to like how we're doing the TikToks, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're deciding that we want to go through and voice both Skylar and Parker for whenever, and Delta, because we have multiple. We're gonna need somebody for Ethan. We're gonna need somebody for Skylar and Parker.
Yeah.
Right. Like whatever characters we had voices for, we're gonna need those. Then they're ultimately gonna have to appear in the game as well. Right. We can recast them, but we know that we're gonna need those voices in the game as well.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm fine either way. I just want to make sure we have that squared away. If we decide that this is the direction we're going to go, then that's the direction we're going to go. And I want to make sure that you're okay with that. Yeah. I can adjust. Easy peasy.
I mean, it would be a lot easier, and it's also one of those things, well, if we do decide to cast everyone and run it like an audio player or just a audiobook or whatever, then I can easily schedule people just to come in on a day, and either if they have recording equipment at home, great, they can record it at home and just send it to me, or if they don't, then have them come over, COVID protocols and everything, and sit down with them and go, all right, here we go. We'll run through the lines. I'll record the entire thing, and then I can just exit, flatline, or whatever the audio.
My concern is like the reason why we weren't doing it the other way was because it didn't require us to have any way of like monetizing or like paying people for that time. You know, now that once we start adding people to it, it's like, okay, well, if we bring in a Parker and a Skylar, what are they going to want out of it? What are they going to want out of it? If it was somebody like one of my roommates, if I asked my roommates, hey, would you be willing to fill in for Skylar and Parker? They would probably be willing to do it, and all I'd really need to worry about is maybe giving them dinner, cooking more.
Well, for as far as that, if you wanted to hire people and pay them, that is something that we can work out. When I put out the notice or ask friends if they want to be on it, I can be like, hey, I can't pay you much, but I can, get you food while you're here, pay for a dinner, and give you $20.
But the other thing that makes me a little bit nervous is what happens if it goes somewhere, right? What happens if it goes somewhere?
Then we can also just write in a clause, like we can have them sign a contract, like the contract that I just signed for a horror film that I was just finished was I get a base pay of X, and then I get 1% of all profits. Mm-hmm. Should it start making money? I'm not relying on that 1% to ever make anything. That's a very standard contract that you have in for actors of like, hey, you can get royalties. All also deferred pay is a thing. I would prefer not using deferred pay because most actors know that you just don't get paid from deferred pay, but possibility of royalties. So if it does start making money, then we can go back and be like, hey, you know that thing you did 3 years ago? Here's a check.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, for the purpose of the audience too, like, this is all the thoughts that come with those shifts. Like, here's the things. Yeah, we say that there's these things, but here are the secondary thoughts that come with those things.
Yeah.
You know, like, the reason why I was saying we should move away from video was because, one, we saw how difficult it was to do the video just for Gnome. Right.
Yeah.
That's 2 minutes. And we're talking about doing that for just the TikTok stuff. That and we had 20 videos planned for the TikTok stuff.
Yeah.
Hello. Right. That wasn't even counting whatever video we needed to do for the game. Right. Like, that's not counting even that. So the idea was to take less pressure off and move over to picture style, comic book style. I like the idea of doing it like a comic book style. That's pretty interesting if you can figure out how to do it, right? That would be cool. But bringing on other people, I hadn't thought that far. I really hadn't. I was just like, what if we move to audio? Okay, cool. Then what was the next steps as that?
Yeah.
And for me, I'm cautious because I just don't. I worry what would happen if that. But if we can find ways of being okay, like you said, the contracts and the your friends or my friends or whoever are, or even if we don't have any of our friends involved and we have other people completely then cool. I just want to make sure we have all of our boxes, crossed, all of our T's crossed, all of our I's dotted, because that's the quickest way to get fucked over. Yeah. And I don't know about you, but I've been fucked over enough in my life.
Yes. And I understand that. I know that's the why you are hesitant about bringing outside in. With the way theater or film and TV works and the way it works over here is it's a lot easier to get people to come in for free for passion projects as long as you're upfront about it. Okay. And you make it some kind of incentive that they should get. So with this, they would get, we would give them credit, obviously. That would be a thing. They are a character in something. We would have a compilation for YouTube at the end of it of the entire saga. So they would get credit. We can find, I'm trying to think of everyone who has a voice is, Belladonna, which is easy. That's me. We don't got to pay me.
We'll figure out the last part. Yeah. We don't need to go through every itty bitty thing right now.
So like you look at, say there's 4 other people that we bring in. Okay. Well, only 2 of them are really in a lot of them. A lot of them are solo Belladonna. So there's not much that we have to worry about that. There's not 20 TikToks that all of them are in. The only person who's in all 20 of them is me.
Yeah.
The majority of them, I think, are only in like 15, maybe not even that many. So,
yeah, it just comes. Yeah. So we'll that part, like, I'd probably leave to you to figure out that bit. Okay. That's not something that I would know how to navigate. I know how to do all the rest of that. I just don't know how to do the rest.
But the question for you is, okay, let's say, yes, we cast everyone and we move forward through it like that. Do you think any of the TikToks would require rewrites?
No.
Okay. And then would that help you better write the game now that you're not doing an insert character?
It wouldn't have mattered either way. It's still writing the game. Yeah.
The other thing is making sure that we get the deadline because it's June now. we started this in August of last year.
What deadline were you aiming for?
I want to get the photo session by the end of July or beginning of August and have everything recorded so that we can start getting everything out towards the end of August and beginning of September.
Okay. I will endeavor to do my best.
Because technically we still have the game and the Epic Saga to go through, which I haven't even looked at.
I haven't even looked at what the villain stuff was either.
Yeah. We've been kind of focused on these 20 and figuring that out and then getting waylaid by life. I want to be able to bring us a little bit back more to center on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. The only thing to do now is just to do.
Yeah.
like that's where it's at.
Yeah.
Like, that's where it's at. So
like I can easily do all of the solo Belladonna scripts in like 2 days if I give myself time to like really just sit there and go through them. That also takes some pressure off of me on having to memorize 20 scripts. And it's also, if we cast everyone, then maybe eventually we can do some live action skits and short films with them.
Yeah.
And if we have to recast, we recast, but.
Yeah. Okay. So that's where we're at with Belladonna.
Yep. So the next part was kind of just like a segue off of a little tangent off of that, which we don't need to get into, but it's just the reason why.
That's whether you want to or not.
I don't mind. I kind of cried about it yesterday.
So okay, let me just read your note. Do you want me to do that?
Yeah.
You said my shift from neutrality to body hate, right? My thing is, I don't think it's a shift. I think the core principles are there. What the problem is you gained weight, right? You're gonna cry. I can see you're gonna cry.
I gained a lot of weight.
Yeah, and that's but you also got to remember, pandemic. Why pandemic? You moved in with a guy who cooks really good fucking food,
Yeah.
right? And he's been feeding you well and has made it his mission to make sure you're fucking well fed.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's the truth. So, but your core principles are still there of what body neutrality is. I don't think you've moved away from that. So saying the shift is, I don't really believe that. But I can understand the body hate. I can understand not being happy with having gained weight. I can definitely understand that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you're most upset with.
Yeah. You know, what's funny is I had opened Facebook for just a second. We'll put it up. This TikTok. It's like the second TikTok I've ever done.
I'm sorry. You jumped on me. So I opened Facebook for just a second. Give me a second. Okay. Yeah.
So.
Okay. You said I had opened Facebook for just a second. Okay.
Yeah. And in my memories, because that's the first thing that pops in sometimes, is, hey, last year at this time, you posted this video on your stories. And it was the second TikTok video I ever posted, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll insert it here. of when I did the wipe it down challenge, where you like wipe the screen and it pops another character who's you, just dressed differently. And then it was the trend when I first started TikTok. And I got shocked because of how thin I looked in that TikTok to how plump I look in a photo that Neil had taken earlier that day. And I had been seeing it in my face and in my body for the last few weeks. And I've known about it for the last few months, because while I didn't gain the weight during what everyone else's quarantine was, after I left the hospital, I pretty much worked from home until 2.5 months ago. Maybe more. I don't know, time. And so I had been here at this computer every day.
Well, and I was gonna say, that's the kicker. That's the real thing. Is like when you move into inactive, that's when your body starts to gain, right? And that's kind of what happened to you and to a lot of people, to be frank, is they just moved from being active to inactive, and in doing so, your body no longer has ways of removing all of the energy that you are now storing. Right? Like, this is all energy that you used to use, and now it's no longer using that, and it's been converted into fat. And so if somebody out there is like, look at this girl trying to act like she knows how fat works. No, I'm just saying. It's like that's what's happened. And
so I don't feel comfortable doing a photo shoot where we have this character who's overly sexualized with the body that I currently have. I talked to Neil about it yesterday, and I fully aware that it is not his fault, and I made that apparent to him. His portion sizes are giant every time he feeds me. And he knows this, and we are both going to work on that, because he needs to eat healthier for his health. I need to eat healthier for my health, and I also need to slim down, because I was not okay opening a social media app and feeling that way, because that's the first time it had happened to me. I've always been pretty neutral about my body, but that was the first time that I truly hated this. So I gave myself a deadline of the end of July.
Just don't kill yourself over it.
Yeah. Of just, even if I don't get back down to where I was before I gained all this weight, if I can even just slim down in the face a little and just lose some of that weight, I would be happy. So I'm giving myself 2 months to work on that.
Okay. Just don't go crazy about it. I just control my portion sizes, and then I pace a lot. So that's how I stay the way I am. And a healthy dose of who gives a fuck. I am my own worst critic, so really self-hate is how I survive most of the time. It is my continual state. But that's besides the point. Sorry you're having a hard time right now with that. I really have no advice for you. So like I said, self-hate is exactly how is pretty much my perpetual state all the time. I mean we did have that thing. Like, I'm pretty neutral about most things about myself. but it is what it is. You
Yeah.
know. I like when I think one of the things that helped me a little is that I understood that I will never have the body type that I like, right? Or that I want. That's the thing that I learned. I am too curvy, for one, and I don't like exercising for the other, which neither works. So I will never have the body type that I like, and I have to be okay with that. The other thing is I don't like wearing makeup. And so I will never be stylized, and I have no sense of fashion. So I will never be stylized in the styles that I think are really incredible, or that I really like to see myself in, because I have neither the money nor willing to give myself the time to even do it. So those are the things that I've come to understand about myself, that allows me to like move past those things that I'm unhappy about, because I know that those things are also inherently things that I just either won't change or I can't change. Like that's fact.
Yeah.
And that's helped. A lot. The final thing that kind of got me over the last part of the hill is that at the end of the day, this is the body that I wake up, go to sleep, and I wake up in. And if this isn't the thing that I'm going to be happy with, then I'm never going to be happy. Right? Like, and so I have to find a little bit of something with it. And so there are times when I do catch myself in the mirror and I think, God, I'm pretty. And then there are other times that I catch myself in the mirror and I go, no, this isn't it. And so it's an ever changing day of like, what's going to be today. Right.
Yeah.
But it helps. Yeah.
Yeah. It's when I felt that absolutely hate yesterday for what I saw, it also helped me realize that where I had been when I even just made that video that caused that, I was not happy with what I always looked in the mirror, but I was far more happy with that than I had at that body that I had than I had been at any point before or after. So I just want to get back to that.
Well, best of luck. I give you the best of luck. Yeah. And I hope you can get to a point where you're happy at.
Yeah.
So I hope you can get to a point of self-love, which oddly enough is one of BTS's biggest themes.
Nice transition.
Yeah. I'm gonna get us out of this. So BTS, DJ, you want to talk about a bit about BTS? Why?
Okay, so we briefly talked on this episode that we didn't decide to air that we're re-recording, right? And it was just so weird to me that a music group partnered with McDonald's for a meal. And it's a McChicken meal, McChicken nugget meal. Chicken McNugget meal.
We're gonna get there.
And 2 sauces. A spicy Korean sauce and a Cajun sauce. Yeah.
Yeah, they did that.
And that was just so weird for me because I am used to like influencing, partnering with like brands to like do their ads and you know, the sports person on the Wheaties, and it just seemed so weird. And they do a lot of these things that are just like non-standard across, that are standard in like one sense, but like not standard for like you don't see an influencer partnering with McDonald's for a meal. You don't see a sports person partnering with a thing to do plushies.
I mean, they could.
They could.
They could.
But
they just haven't talked to the right PR team to get them to the right place. I mean, okay. This, you remember?
Yeah.
Line store? Yeah. That was a project that BTS partnered with for that particular group, that particular store.
And that's what I mean. Their partnerships are all over the place, and they're good partnerships. Like those products are great. They're adorable. But it's just like, I saw this and I was like, it is so weird. And then that got me, like, today I was looking through some stuff and I sent you some links and we can put them in the thing below, but it was just like, what the hell? Like, they took the world by storm.
So here's the thing about BTS. I felt like this was kind of par for the course. If you know anything about BTS, you know that they didn't actually come out as a big group. Their company in the beginning only had like 2 other artists tied to them before BTS. And even before that, their company was really struggling to have a hit group. And then BTS came out. Bangtan Soyeonda came out. And it almost seemed like for a moment they were going to fail. They have a saying called dirty spoons. And that's what a lot of people were calling BTS, were dirty spoons. They weren't from this big company. They weren't part of the big three. Big three being JYP, SM, and YG at the time, which are the biggest K-pop companies out there that dominate the scene up until BTS came up. So when they popped up into the scene in 2013, DJ, let me first find you a picture of BTS in 2013. You need to see this. You need to see this first, because you will laugh. You will straight up laugh. I have to show you first. Oh, come on. Yes.
Okay. Well, while she's looking for that, it just really amuses me that they came out with this thing. Then apparently someone decided.
You see it?
Nope. Just there you go. Yes.
That was them in the beginning. 2013, they came out and they were going to be like this hard rap group, right? K-pop style hard rap group. Look at J-Hope there with his little mask. Like, come on, make this bigger. Oh, come on. Anyways, so like they had this thing. This was gonna be them. And people thought they were a joke. Like they almost did not survive this phase at all. The reason why they made it from here to, let's see, what was it? BTS, I think they made their change about 2014. Look at this kind of image change for them in 2014. Right? Look at that. Dramatic change, right? 2014, they changed a little. Okay. It started changing. Forgot what I was gonna say. They started changing their look, and I think it was like 2015 they really made their hit. Yeah, 2000. 2000 is when they finally made their big shift. When they finally made their big shift. But it almost seemed like they weren't going to make it. And the only reason why they managed to survive is because they went through brand deals. And they went through concerts. That was the only way they were able to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, that was the history. Oh, let me stop sharing my screen now.
Yeah.
So
funny enough, so that was them 2015, 2000. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And this is them now.
I know.
On the cover of Rolling Stone.
Talk about glow up. So the whole thing is like they were surviving through concerts and they were surviving through these brand deals because they weren't really getting big.
Okay. You froze, Becca.
How about now?
You're good. You're good. Go ahead.
So the whole thing is like they weren't popular in their own country, but they were popular everywhere else. And these brand deals that they were getting with like shoe companies and Coca-Cola at one point, right? They were what were keeping them afloat. And eventually they were getting bigger and bigger, and they were able to do more incredible things. And their fan base was more international before it started building more in the Korean realm. And I know there's some people that are going to be like, well, no, you're wrong. This is how I came to understand BTS. Is I learned that they were bigger international before they were growing home. So when I learned that they got a deal with McDonald's, I was actually not surprised. Because these boys have done so many brands. Like they just now, I think, got their first beer. You know a K-pop's group, like all of their members have reached consenting age or full age when every single member is of age. Oh my God, what am I trying to say? Every single member is of age when they're all able to do a beer commercial together because they finally have a beer commercial. So I'm not surprised. And like their star power is so insane. I think Jungkook one point had mentioned he uses a very particular brand of Downy, and like the next day it was sold out in Korea. J-Hope and Sugar on one of their V Live, there's an app called V Live where K-pop and Korean actors go on pretty much like Twitch stream channel and put on and do some live stream.
Yeah.
And they were showing how they clean their face, how they stay pretty. And they were using this particular mask. It sold out. It's like, okay.
Yeah, so I literally looked up BTS endorsements, and since March 10th, 2020, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 different brands and that's just from March of last year.
Yeah. Phone, apparel, not to mention this BT21, they drew some really shitty stuff, and then and then some people pulled some artists together, and that's how BT21 came together. There's they have phone games out for them now.
They have Funko Pops.
Yeah, like it's
they have
honestly,
a webtoon.
Huh?
They have a webtoon.
I read that webtoon. It's based off of the BTS universe, which is part of the music videos that they've put out, which I don't think they've done anything for that in their recent comebacks.
Well, apparently I missed when they did Dunkin' Donuts in 2018.
apparently missed it too. At one point, there's a reason why they say ARMY is one of the most well-fed fan bases, because they put out, not only do they partner with brands, they put out some of the most content of any K-pop group out there. It is honestly overwhelming. I eventually stopped following them for a little bit because I could not keep up anymore. I had to take a deep breath and just say, this is more than I can take.
They have USBTSArmy.com and all4army.com are both two fan websites that I found just today. They are so well designed.
There's a Reddit group that I'm on that will, at the beginning of every year, will do a survey just to see what the demographic is. The fandom is absolutely insane. It's insane in a good way, not insane in a bad way. Insane in a good way. I honestly find them to be one of the most interesting K-pop fandoms to be around.
They have this website, the USBTSArmy.com, has an etiquette notice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a dictionary.
Yeah.
And I also found this out. I didn't know why they were called ARMY. I thought it was something. It stands for Adorable Representative MC for Youth.
Yeah, we try not to mention that.
stand for?
MC? MC.
Main character?
No, I'll go with that. No, Master of Ceremonies.
So the Adorable Representative Master of Ceremony for Youth. That's what their ARMY stands for.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's our brief discussion on BTS. I'm so happy for them. They have all the success, and they obviously it's well deserved. They have worked their butts off for it.
They have, but at the same time, you can see who is using them for clout.
Yes.
And who is honestly interested in them as a group of human beings.
Yeah.
Right? You can see that. The Grammys for sure used them for fucking clout this recently.
Oh yeah. They did them dirty.
You can see that. Absolutely see that. In a lot of we were talking about this on the last episode that's not going to be airing, but on the episode we were we're read blah blah blah. We were talking about this, but so I had mentioned that some of the interviewers haven't done 100% their best with interviewing BTS. And that a lot of armies are upset about this. The reason why some armies are upset about this is because we've had some phenomenal interviewers in the past who were also in America who have interviewed BTS. The thing is, these newer ones aren't up to snuff, and we're like, why give us these new ones when we could go back to the old ones that have BTS, that have met BTS, have a reputation BTS clearly cared about them and actually asked really engaging questions. Why can't we go back to those interviewers? Why do we have to go to these interviewers that don't give shit, that watched 20 seconds of their music video and thought, hey, the best thing for us to say is we liked only the 20 seconds of your first music video.
Yeah.
Right?
They have very well designed fan websites. It took me 10 minutes to find so much about them.
Right, and that's the point. That's the point that ARMY is saying. There's so much information out there, And what I told you last time is there are entire videos that Army has done that are introduction videos to new armies, to baby armies. Entire introduction videos that break down who they are, like each member is, how to pronounce their names, their right? Like things to look out for, history on them. Even some armies have gone so far as to, like, jokes that you will hear and jokes we try not to do anymore because they could be offensive or hurtful, right? Like those things, right? Like and those things exist. Why? Because they don't care. That's what Army comes up to, and that's why they're so frustrated.
Yeah. It must be that disconnect of, oh, they're a Korean group, because you know that if it was Beyonce they were interviewing, they would have some amazing questions.
Mm-hmm.
If it was Robert Downey Jr., they would have some amazing questions. It takes 10 minutes to research. You would see how big these people are.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's not like we don't know. Everywhere you go, you see nothing but like reports on what BTS accolades are.
Yeah. So
it's not like you can't step out your front door without hearing BTS broke the world record for most streams on Spotify, which they have most recently. BTS broke the world record on most streams on YouTube.
Yeah.
BTS beat Ariana Grande's record on blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's note to the interviewers out there, do fucking better, because it takes 10 minutes to do your fucking job.
We could do it right here while we're doing our shit.
Yeah, I found all those endorsements in 2 seconds. It literally takes one Google search. So Thank you. Start asking better questions. And you know what? While you're at it, why don't you just start asking better questions to literally everyone in general? So
I love when interviewers do, particularly when female interviewers have like the male star and the female star in front of them and go, okay, I'm going to ask the female star all the interview questions that would normally be asked to the male star. And I'm going to ask all the interview questions that would normally be asked to the female star to the male star.
Yes.
To start off with, do you find sometimes your clothing to be really restrictive, or do you like to go, nude underneath?
Do you wear underwear with your suit?
Yeah, I think, who was it? I want to say it was like one of the MC.
Scarlett Johansson kept getting asked that.
Right, and then, but so that question came around. It was asked towards one of her male hosts. And it's like and he turns and he goes, do you really get asked this? And she looks and she goes, yeah.
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 So, yeah, I like watching those interviews. I also like watching the interviews where the guy was like, you know what, let me take this question. So it's nice to see sometimes when like the male co-stars will step up and be like, hey, yeah, no, that's not right. And it's also really, really funny to see the women be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
So interviewers do better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
But
anything else
I think that's our show for today.
Oh, okay.
That's
so.
our time.
We're done. We're finished. And you know what to do.
Like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you're notified of all of our videos.
And we shall see you
next
time.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, so seriously, go watch Gnomes.
Oh yeah, go watch it. Go watch it now. It airs right after this episode.
Before this episode.
This episode comes on at 4.
No, 5. My time. So 4 your time, yes. But that's also when I was going to push this back to 4:30 your time, 5:30 my time. And premiere the Gnomes at 5.
Whatever. Whatever time Gnomes comes on, fucking go watch it now. If you
It's
haven't,
seriously,
go
it's
watch
2
it
minutes
6 times.
long. It's funny. It's good.
Go exactly like how they do K-pop. Just sit there and stream it. Just leave it on in the background. Let it finish. Just hit that. Turn it off. Come back to YouTube. In fact, go to each of your devices and put Gnome on every single device so that we get multiple watches. Like, that's how we do it in K-pop. That's what you're going to do. You're going to go to every single one of your device and you're going to put Gnome on there. You don't have to start them all at the same time. You just have to have Gnome on every single device. And then you have to call up all of your friends and tell them to go watch Gnome.
But yes, please like and share that one. Of any videos you ever share for us, please share that one. It is our
Until
baby.
Our next project, and then it's gonna be like, hey, everybody, the next.
Yeah. Share the projects. The podcast's fine, whatever. Just put those on in the background. It's fine. But like our projects, please share, watch, like, subscribe, and
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.